George for Talk of the Town. We are here at Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford at the Blues N Brews Summerfest with Pam Fletcher. Tell us what's going on today.
Well, you know, it's Blues N Brews. It's a way to raise money for the Westford Rotary and have a really good time. They donate a lot of their proceeds to charity. And the music, the blues, the brews, everything is fantastic here at Nashoba Valley today. Beautiful weather. Get on down. If you've never been before, you can always try it out next year.
So we had a chance to talk to some of the vendors, some of the bands. Stay tuned. It's a beautiful day here at Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford for the Blues N Brews with Chris Kitchen. Tell us about this event, Chris.
George, this is the 15th annual Blues N Brews event, and we've had it here for almost 10 years. This year is the first year. It's a two-day festival, so we have 9 different blues bands between today and tomorrow, and it's just the weather couldn't be better.
And how great is it that Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford is involved in this event? Because it's all for charity.
It is all for charity, and it's very important to us. Obviously, we're based in Westford, Massachusetts, so a lot of these charities are very, very local, right in the town, if not in the surrounding towns. So it's very important for us, and it's near and dear to our hearts.
And what would you like to say about the Rotary, just working with them and organizing this event?
They do a lot of work. There's hundreds of them that come out and volunteer, and there's a huge team of them that put this all together with us, and I just can't say enough about them. They're great to work with. The weather's perfect, great beer samples, different vendors, so it's really a lot of fun.
Excellent. We're going to talk to some of those vendors shortly, so stay tuned to this special edition of Talk of the Town.
I'm Pam Fletcher with Talk of the Town, and we are at Summerfest at Nashoba Valley Ski Area at Blues N Brews 2016. I am with Tom Sobosinski from Black Hawk Brewing Company. And Tom, did I say your name right?
Absolutely.
I had to take a chance at that one. Now, Tom, Black Hawk Brewing is really interesting because it's only been around for 2 years.
That's right.
Where did you start?
So we're out of Oxford, Connecticut. My brother and I are in the restaurant industry. Our partner Tyler worked up at Smutty Nose and Portsmouth Brewing for about 7 years. And we're old family friends, decided to get together, and family, friends, and beer is where it all started.
Well, and the crafting must be fun to do together. I mean, crafting brews is quite an art these days.
Absolutely. We really try to think outside the lines a little bit, and we have some really fun ingredients and fun artwork and all that to back it up.
Well, speaking of thinking outside the lines, what are some of your top brews?
So right now, I'll show you guys this one. This is called Granola Brown. We just won a gold medal at the World Beer Cup for this. We're super proud of this. It's got flaked oats, special B, and it's a really nice, easy drinking brown ale. So right now, we're really proud of this brew.
And now, we've got 2 others here that you're featuring as well.
Absolutely. So this is called Easy Rida. It's a session rye IPA. It's got some really great body to it and nice hop bite, but it's only 4.8%. That's what makes it a session IPA.
So a session IPA versus the first one, what's the difference?
So session basically means that it's under 5% ABV. So the brown is 5.7, the Easy Ride is 4.8.
I hope you guys are all listening and paying attention to it. It's very important to understand your brews. And finally, we have one more.
Our last can for today is called Ginger Ninja. This is actually 6.5%. It's actually our brewer Tyler's wedding beer. So when he got married, he married a redhead, and he made Ginger Ninja. And he actually brought this beer down from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And we're also super proud of it. It's got fresh ginger in the boil and a hop called Falconer's Flight. So.
Well, I think we're going to have to do a little tasting right now, don't you?
Absolutely.
Well, it's a pleasure, Tom. And if you haven't heard of Black Hawk Brewing Company, they're now in Massachusetts, distributed locally.
Absolutely, all over the state.
And it's a great beer to enjoy with friends and family.
Cheers.
have to tell you, I'm a huge James Brown fan.
Oh, girl, get
When
on up.
Yeah, when you were getting on up, I was just about ready to get on up and go away.
And get into it.
Yeah, it was good. So how long have you been doing this?
I started at age 11, fooling around with a friend's bass guitar in Chicago. So I guess about 40-something years.
Now, tell me about some of your inspirations. Who have been some of the people
when
that
I
have
was a
inspired
kid,
you?
I went to school with Willie Dixon's kids, and that was my first inspiration to the bass guitar. And he brought Lucky Peterson to a little kid. Well, he's grown now, but he brought him to my school, and that like boosted, you know.
Well, you have some energy out there. Boy,
Yeah,
oh
a lot
boy,
of fun.
you were jumping around.
Yeah, it was funny. I drove 15 hours to get here, and I couldn't believe that I had just zapped in after the rain. I was just like, okay, Lord, let's get it together here. And we played My Girl for fun, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I had, I don't know, a ball of lightning just struck in me, and I was.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's right. The skies opened up, it cleared, it was sunny.
I had to play My Girl. I had to step away a little bit from the blues, but it was perfect. The sun came in, and I don't know. And then from then on, it was dancing time. And I just try to touch one smile at a time. I want one person to smile. Smile! I know you're looking at me.
Well, I got to tell you, you got people on their feet. They were smiling, they were dancing. And what do you think about this event, Blues
This
N
is
Brews?
beautiful. It was my first time here, and look at all the people. They stayed, they stuck through the rain, and that made it so positive because I was standing on the stage and I didn't think they were going to stay here. And they went to the tents, and some people were just dancing in the rain because Diana, and I really wanted to watch Joe Lewis. That's one of my heroes. I call him my big brother, you know. So I didn't want to go home because I was telling John, the promoter, I was telling him that I don't like getting free money. And most musicians, well, I ain't gonna say most, but some of them like to get free money. Like, oh, I just got a free check. Me, I cry inside when I can't get up there and dance and do my thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, you were dancing,
I
you
had
were
a
moving,
great
you had
time.
people on their feet, and that's what Blues N Brews is all about.
That's what it's about. Good time, good brews, and good people.
Well, I have to say, it's been a pleasure
It's
having
been
you
a
here.
pleasure.
What
Thank
a
you
doll.
for having me.
What a doll.
Back at you.
Yeah, back at you.
All right, you got to teach me about this skiing thing.
All right, baby. I'll get you on the slopes. I'll get you on the slopes.
Joking.
All right, George, back to you.
Bye.
We are here at Blues N Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford with Chris Perello of Rising Tide Brewery. Tell us about your beer here. Let's take a sip first.
What we have here, cheers. This is our Spinnaker Hefeweizen. It's a German-style wheat beer, a little bit cloudy, a little bit weedy, a beautiful note of banana on the nose, and a touch of cloves on the finish.
And it almost tastes like this is a good starter beer, because a lot of beers have a really heavy, bitter taste. This is very light for people who want to get into the microbrew tasting.
Wheat beers and Hefeweizens in particular are excellent entry-level beers. They're also particularly good hot weather beers, so on a day like today, fits the bill perfect.
And how does it feel just being a part here of the Blues N Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area?
Great scene today, really great scene today. We had a little bit of rain earlier, kind of brought everyone together. Sun came back out, warmed it back up. It's really been a pleasure.
And where is Rising Tide available here in New England?
Rising Tide is based out of Portland, Maine, but we're available in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts.
Excellent. So we're going to be back with more footage of the Blues N Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area, and we're going to have some of this great beer. Chris, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm back at Blues N Brews with John McKinnon, the man behind the bands here at Blues N Brews. Active member of the Westford Rotary, and boy, what does it take to pull this together with the music?
Wow, well actually a week from now, I'm going to be starting on next year. That's what it takes. It's literally following bands, and Lawrence Jones in particular, who's playing right now, actually is a band that I've been following for 3 years. They're from the UK, and we almost had them here last year, and this year we were able to get it done because I was able to package it with a few other festivals. So Lawrence Jones, 23 years old, British
I hear
Blues
he's
Awards.
a music sensation in Britain.
Right, he's won 2 Blues Music Awards for Young Artist of the Year, and he's up for 3 this year.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And he's only 24?
23, 24,
23,
yeah.
24 years old?
And look what he's doing with the crowd.
It's crazy.
Nobody knows him here, but now they do.
Yeah, it's his debut here at Blues N Brews.
And that's why people come to festivals. They come to see a band that they recognize, maybe as a headliner, but a band that they want to discover music.
And John, you're so funny. I mean, he's running around like a little kid. Like, I got to see the next guy because the music is so good.
Right, and when I was leaving the house this morning, I said to my wife, I said, it's 2 days this year. I can't wait. So no, I'm just excited. I love this.
So talk a little bit about the diversity in the talent that you have here for the weekend at Blues N Brews.
Well, like Steve Morgan and the Kingfish that were on first, they were a big band, 6-7 pieces with horns. And then Diane Blue was a harp player and just a great voice. So that's what was focused on there, was her voice primarily, and then as a harmonica player.
And I understand on Sunday you have, is it Gary Hoey?
Gary Hoey is playing. Our headliner is actually Carolyn Wonderland.
And Carolyn Wonderland, but Gary Hoey has played here before.
He has, right, and he does well. He draws locally because he lives in Pelham, New Hampshire, so he does really well. So that'll help naturally boost our Sunday, being a first year with a 2-day festival.
Now, are both of the headliners local?
Carolyn Wonderland is from Texas, and Joe Louis Hawker, who is playing after Lawrence Jones, is out of New York.
Out of New York.
Yep.
So, but you do draw a lot of local talent.
Oh, absolutely. Generally speaking, what I try to do is the top 1 or 2 bands are usually national or international acts that are always on the road playing 200 to 250 dates a year. That's that recognizable name that's going to draw people in. And then the bands under that, generally speaking, are bands that they're local and some that are just working their way up.
Well, what's really fun is if you look around and you look behind us and you see how many people are engaged in watching the music, young and old alike. There's families here that are having a blast, and it really, you've put together some wonderful music and entertainment here for Blues N Brews.
My parents are here, and my father's 82 and my mother's 80.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're bobbing their head over there. So.
And you know, once again, we always have to talk about the fact that this is to raise money for charity, for the Westford Rotary and their charities that they contribute to. And how does that feel to be a part of that?
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, to be able to have a great time doing something like this almost year-round and then have it actually be for a fundraiser, it's fantastic. I mean, I think we're somewhere in the $30,000 to probably $50,000 range on average a year, maybe a little bit more this year with being 2 days of Blues N Brews. And I mean, what could be better? Having a great time in the sun for 2 days and raising money for charity.
I heard it was up to $500,000.
Over the course of the last 14 years.
Which
yeah.
is amazing,
Right,
you know,
right.
that we could have raised that much money
And
over 15 years.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and it
really
goes to
cool.
a number of local charities, and so.
And a lot of it has to do with the man behind the bands.
Man behind the music, right?
Man behind the music.
Wasn't that a show?
Yeah,
Man
that was a show. Back to you, George.
All right.
We just saw a great set from Lawrence Jones all the way from Oxford, England. What's it like to be here in Westford, Mass at Nashoba Valley Ski Area for Blues N Brews?
It's amazing to be here. It's a great opportunity. I've heard so much about the festival and just soaking up the sun right now.
You're an amazing performer. How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 24 years old.
When did you start playing? Because we were looking, my cameraman was saying, did that guy start playing when he was 3 years old? You're very gifted for 24 years old. When did you start?
Well, I was born with a guitar, you see.
I believe it.
I started when I was 8 years old and then got into the blues when I was about 12. I actually started on the classical guitar and then I wanted to rebel and play some real blues music.
What are some of your musical influences?
My all-time influence is Jimi Hendrix. I love Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
Now, when you write your own original songs as well?
Yeah, I write all my own songs. And we got a brand new album out, which we just recorded. And I had a producer, Mike Vernon, who produced the Beaner magazine with Eric Clapton. And he produced David Bowie, you know, everyone. It's been cool.
So, you know, a lot of people are into really, like, pop music nowadays. Why do you think people need to get back to the blues and, like, no auto-tune and the real 3 chords and the truth?
Well, there's a lot of blues in pop music, you know, and if you look really closely at pop music and you don't define it as pop and you just sit there and listen to it, there's still the blues in it. So I guess if you put me in front of a pop audience and a big pop festival, they wouldn't even know I'd be doing blues, you know.
So what goes through your head when you're, like, performing and, you know, how do you bring that emotion out in your original music?
Well, I suffer with something called Crohn's disease, which is a stomach illness. So if I want to get really deep and feel the pain, I can relate to that. but I get most of my inspiration from being on the road. We do about 200 shows a year, and just get to meet some great people and write some great songs along the way.
Now, you do 200 shows a year. You're from Oxford, England. Where are you playing around here in the States?
Well, we've done New York, Carnegie Hall. That was cool. And then we've just got 4 shows out here, and we're doing a Don Odell's TV show, and then we go off to Poland for a month.
Wonderful. If people want to purchase your music, hear your music, where can they find that?
They can find that at www.lawrencejonesmusic.com, or you just type Lawrence Jones into Google.
So Google Lawrence Jones, Facebook him, check out his website, and we want to thank you for being a part of the Blues and Brews today. All the way from Oxford, England. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
The Blues N Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford with Pam Fletcher. I'm drinking the Tiki Margarita, and you're having the famous
Tiki Sunset Sangria, and I'll tell you, this is an award-winning beverage. We won't give away the secret of what's in here.
So tell us what's going on at the Tiki.
Well, the Tiki Bar is still open throughout the summer from Monday through Saturday night, starting at 5 o'clock. They go to 1 a.m. We have great entertainment. There's karaoke on Tuesday. Family night is Monday, and then we have live music Wednesday through Saturday night out on the beach.
And you have a great thing called Witches Woods coming up in the fall, which, if anyone hasn't been to Witches Woods, it's incredible. You have like animated projections and zombies and actors. Tell us about that.
You know, Witches Woods is a special thing. The Witches Woods, they call themselves haunters, the cast themselves. We have over 150 actors each year that come back to haunt the folks at Witches Woods. It's a wonderful experience if you've never done it before. There's 6 attractions, packed with scares and dares, and it's sure to get you going and get you in the Halloween spirit.
Now, when does the date start of that? When does Witches Woods start? In the fall?
Yes, the first date is September 30th, and it runs through every Thursday through Sunday night through the month of October.
So if you want more information, go to skinashoba.com. And Pam and I are going to cover more of the Blues and Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area here in Westford. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm with Adam Schulp, and we're at Harpoon Brewery, and Harpoon has been a part of Nashoba Valley Ski Area for quite some time. Not only a part of the ski area, but a part of Blues and Brews.
Yeah, that's correct. To my knowledge, we've been sponsoring Nashoba for, the better part of a decade now. And we sponsor the volleyball program in the summer. And obviously, we're a big fan of the skiing in the wintertime.
And a big fan of the Tiki Bar, too.
Absolutely.
You know, in the Tiki Bar, even though we have Blues and Brews going on during the day, the Tiki Bar maintains its regular hours, and they're out there pouring Harpoon at night.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are one of our biggest accounts in the area, and, we love sponsoring you guys, and we love to be a part of what you guys have going on here.
Well, what's better than having a beer sponsor work with you, right? I mean, it's a lot of fun for us, and you have a lot of really interesting brews. Now, let's start off with one of your favorites.
Okay, well, one of my favorites is actually our newest product, the Harpoon Flannel Friday. It's a new fall seasonal beer. It replaces our old Oktoberfest, and it's kind of a hoppy amber style beer. We took kind of the sweeter malts that are kind of traditional in a more traditional Oktoberfest, and used some more traditional IPA style hops to kind of bring that bitterness. So it's a nice bitter yet sweet. It's kind of a really just an awesome beer to drink, as the temperatures start to dip a little bit in the evenings, and it's just awesome around a fire in the fall.
Well, and who doesn't like flannel? I mean, we gotta try this. I mean, flannel in the fall, and I bet it's as smooth as flannel too.
It's definitely smooth.
Wow, there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You get kind of right off the bat, you get the sweetness kind of right on the tip of your tongue, and then as the liquid starts to mellow in your mouth, you start to get more of the bitterness on the finish. And for those of us that really like hoppy beers, it's a perfect fall beer for us.
She'd be happy. There's no question there. So now, what do we have up next?
All right, so up next, We have one of our other favorite beers, my other favorite beers, excuse me.
It's mine too.
The Hoppy Adventure. And this is actually a double IPA. Our original IPA comes in at about 5.8% alcohol. The Hoppy Adventure comes in at about 7.8% alcohol. And it has 6 different malts in it. Don't ask me to name them all. But I know that it has Falconer's Flight and Mosaic, which give it a really nice citrusy bubblegum almost kind of flavor to it.
Well, and for those of you, I mean, I love beer, but hoppy beer, if it's too hoppy, it's a little too hoppy for me, but not this one. I don't know why. It's very, very smooth.
Yeah, we actually really tried hard. There were a couple of guys at the brewery named Tom and Ken, and they're the original brewers of this recipe. And they really wanted to come out with like one of the higher alcohol IPAs, but not have it be so bitter that you could really only drink one or even half of one. They wanted a higher alcohol beer that you could drink more than one of, obviously responsibly. But they really wanted to be able to have that hoppiness come through, and I think they did an excellent job with it.
Well, when you taste it, you'd be amazed. It's so smooth. And it's really flavorful.
Yeah, it really is. As of right now, it's only available on draft. You can find it at a few accounts in the area, Nashoba being one of them.
So you better hop on over to Nashoba Valley or the Sunset Tiki Bar and grill and get your hoppy adventure.
That's right. Absolutely. And then coming out later in the fall, around November, it'll be coming out in 16-ounce cans in a 4-pack.
Wow, so those Hoppy Adventure fans out there, get ready. It's coming out in cans. Now, what do we have next?
All right, next we have our Sweet Spot. Harpoon Sweet Spot is
now, what makes it a sweet spot?
Well, I think it's because we nailed the recipe and it came out perfectly.
Well, there you go.
It's a German-style Kolsch ale. It's very similar to the beer that we used to have as our summer beer. It's really light-bodied, but it still has that full flavor. The best way I can describe it is light body, full flavor, and just really easily drinkable.
Light body, full flavor, here we go. Wow, Sweet Spot hits the spot.
Yeah, it really is a great beer. It's definitely one of my preferred beers in the summertime.
Well, it's very light too.
Yeah, it's very light. I've never actually been able to drink it in the wintertime before because we've only ever made it in the summer. So I'm actually really excited to be able to have it around Christmas time and after having a couple of ski runs.
That's awesome. Now, I'm also a fan of cider in the wintertime and in the summer, and I know you guys have a wonderful cider made by Harpoon.
Yeah, we've been making our cider now for about 8 or 9 years. We originally started brewing it with, we would basically purchase apple juice from nearby Harvard, Massachusetts. And actually we kind of outgrew what they could provide us, so now we kind of get it from wherever we can. But really it's just 2 basic ingredients. It's fresh pressed apple juice and our house yeast. That's all we put into it. We don't add any other extra ingredients, no sugars, no sweeteners, nothing. And what comes out is really one of the best hangover cures I've ever had.
There you go, it's medicinal. I'm back with Brian Alcorn, the president of the Westford Rotary. And Brian, it's your first year as acting president.
It is my first year as president. I've been in the club for about 5 years. It's a great group of people.
So what does Blues N Brews mean to the Westford Rotary?
It means raising money and giving it away. So every cent that we raise here today, we're going to give to local charities.
And how did this all start? This is the 15th annual.
It is the 15th annual Blues N Brews. To date, we've given away about $500,000 in donations, all from this festival.
Now, what I love about Blues N Brews is that it's kind of fun. I mean, you come out, you listen to live blues, you get to taste some fabulous brews, and it's all to raise money. Tell us about some of the charities that the Westford Rotary gives back to from this event.
Kind of fun. It's extremely fun, Pam. This year we're giving our money to the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, Multiple Sclerosis Society, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell, Road and Bush Community Center, the Westford Historical Society, the Blues Foundation, Rotary International, Friends Forever, and many different students. We give away a lot of scholarships each year.
Well, one of the things that I'm always amazed with is this is Nashoba Valley Ski Area. I mean, in the wintertime, this would be covered with snow. In the summer, we have functions. What does it take for you to put this whole thing together? It's a lot of teamwork.
Yep, it's a lot of teamwork. We have about 35 members in the club, and everybody chips in as much as they can to make this happen. It's everybody working here as a volunteer, just trying to make it happen.
And I understand that combined with Nashoba Valley staff and all of the volunteers you were able to bring together, there's over 150 people out here today.
There are, which is pretty incredible, considering these are all volunteers that are just here to help and help out the local charities that we're supporting.
Well, it's a wonderful cause, Blues and Brews, and we want to thank all of you that are viewing for your participation if you have come out to see Blues and Brews at Summerfest at Nashoba Valley Ski Area. From all of us, thank you.
It's been a great day here at Blues N Brews at Nashoba Valley Ski Area in Westford with my favorite person, Pam Fletcher. Thank you so much for having us. And if people want more information about what's going on here at Nashoba Valley Ski Area, what's the website?
It's easy, www.skinashoba.com. And if you didn't make it out to Blues and Blues, remember this is an annual at Nashoba Valley Ski Area, so there's always next year. Here's to you, George.
Here's to you. Remember, if you want to volunteer, you have a story idea, drop us a line at ActonTV.org. For all of us at Talk of the Town, we want to wish you a great week. I'm George Cox, and with Pam Fletcher, we'll see you again next time. Cheers!
There you go.